Hello, good afternoon. You're listening to Let's Make a List on KPCA LP, Petaluma, California, 103.3 FM and online at kpca.fm. I'm your host, Phil, and here this is the show where we talk about pop culture stuff like movies, music, video games, books, television. We make lists and we discuss our topics. Today, we have a very special guest in the studio. This guest, you will know her from Redwood High School. You would know her from Academy of Art University. You would know her from Santa Rosa Junior College. Yeah. And you will soon know her from a bunch of other stuff. This is Ariel.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for telling my future.
You're welcome. I went way into your past. I almost went even further in your past, but that's good enough.
No need to speak of further past educational institutions.
But that's what shaped you into the beautiful woman you are today. All the credit goes to your high school.
Well, it definitely formed me, parts of me, into like really, really hammered in that I don't have time for a lot of stuff in my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your pose gets me every time.
So yeah, this is Let's Make a List. We're going to be with you until about 3 o'clock, and then we have full circle sessions with DJ Saeed from 3 to 5. Oh no, Saeed's not here today yet. We have Val is subbing. Sorry about that, but still full circle sessions, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then, thank you for reminding me, Ariel. And then live archive with Ed Pearlstein from 5 to 7. So those are music shows. This is talking. This is just going to be talking. But boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about what's going on in Petaluma today. There's a slight breeze. It's still too warm. We'll see if that changes when it becomes the autumn. I'm hoping so. Yeah, not very busy. I don't see any cars out there. People across the street, their lights are off, so they're probably conserving energy. That's good. Petaluma is a very clean town. It's not only called a city. It's definitely not a village. It's not a metropolis. City or town, both of them would count. What do you call a town or a city?
A hamlet.
Hamlet?
No.
All right. Well, you had two options, and you picked a third, and you didn't even commit to it. So yeah, that's going on in Petaluma today. Come visit Petaluma. It's nice. That is my own personal opinion, not the opinion of KPCA. KPCA might be anti-Petaluma. I don't know. I haven't talked to you about it yet.
Yeah, it seems like that's what the spine of KPCA is.
Community radio. Yeah, community radio is usually anti-where you are.
Very introverted, anti-where you are.
Yep. A couple of things I want to say before we get to our show topics. Petaluma Music Festival is coming up August 4th, 2018. It's a Saturday. See, the music festival's going to be, but the cool thing is, one of the cool things about it is that it's a nonprofit festival, and all the proceeds benefit the music education programs in all Petaluma area public schools. So if you go, get a ticket, you're helping the Petaluma schools, their music programs, which are important, and they're going away. I actually don't know about it in the Bay Area how music programs are doing. I'm assuming it's like it is a lot of the world. And California has lots of money problems.
Yeah, I think the arts are the first thing to get slashed.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's true everywhere.
So let's support them. So yeah, the Petaluma Music Festival, we got headliners are Railroad Earth, the Brothers Comatose, Melvin Seals, and the JGB. And KPCA is going to be there. KPCA people walking around, interviewing, talking to people, wearing shirts. So just come say hi if you see any of them. Any of us. We are all KPCA people. And also, they're looking for volunteers. I'm almost done with this. Sorry.
Why did you say sorry?
Because I keep forgetting things and I go back to it. So I'm looking at you like, oh, we can get to this other thing, and then I have to do this other thing.
I'm here as a guest on your show, enjoying my time here.
Thank you. It's nice and cool in here today.
It is. All
right, so yeah, the music festival is looking for volunteers also to monitor the recycling on the day of the show. The festival is moving to a zero waste goal. Well, they have a goal already.
Very cool thing to support.
Yep, they're not moving to the goal; they're moving to achieve that goal. There we go. So you can find more information about volunteering at petalumamusicfestival.org. Find volunteer in the menu, and there are 3.5-hour shifts available, and volunteers to get a festival T-shirt. All right, so it's coming up August 4th. Okay, so today the perfect segue into what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about fantasy music festivals. We each made our own fantasy festival, and we picked favorite bands we want to play, when they play, what stage, all that stuff. But first, before we get to the fun part, I have a question.
Homework.
Not a question, just something I want to talk about. Yep, homework. So,
Brussels sprouts.
Yep, I'm sure this is something that everybody's talking about these days. Excuse me.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, I wish. I read about Ghostbusters this morning. They're making a Ghostbusters game app. It's kind of like Pokemon Go, but Ghostbusters-y. It's supposed to come out later this year.
Went on inside of you.
Pokemon Go was like, the idea was cool, and I played it for like a minute, and I go, that's cool. I don't really care about Pokemon. It uses a lot of data. It uses a lot of battery. Yeah, don't want to do that. But the Ghostbusters, that's a different story.
That was made for you.
Yes, it's true. I asked them to, and they said, yeah, sure. We'll put in millions of dollars to fill.
Yep.
So what people are actually talking about is reserved seating in movie theaters. So I made a short pros list and a short cons list. So if people don't know what we're talking about, a lot of movie theaters are switching to reserved seating, luxury recliners, and so they're taking out a lot of seats, and then they're putting in these recliners, so there are less seats per theater because they're bigger and they open up, they recline, as they say. And you have to reserve seats ahead of time, and I'm not I have mixed feelings. Mostly, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I want theaters not do that because of a number of reasons. Here we go. Pros. I'll talk about the good things about them first.
Okay.
The seats are more comfortable. I'd say so. Yeah, it's nice. You have leg room. Sometimes that's a problem.
Well, you're like 1,000 feet tall, so that is definitely a problem.
People constantly talk about how movie theaters and the industry are struggling, which I'm curious if that, I don't know if it's actually true or just something they say.
I think it is true because there's a huge difference in how people went to see movies.
True. Right.
Than ever before.
Right.
And that's because of streaming.
Right. So it's keeping the movie theaters in business, maybe. Like I talked to someone that worked at one of the movie theaters about the change, thinking that they'd be like, oh yeah, it's annoying, or ticket sales gone down. They said, nope, it saved the theater. So cool.
Yeah,
that's good. Cons list. They're comfortable. This is a small con, but I get a little sleepy. I don't want to get sleepy at the theater. Most of them, if not, they could be fake leather, but a lot of them seem like they're real leather.
I feel like that's part of the advertisement, and it's something worth looking into. But that's also on my cons list for that I have not written down. But is that it's demanding more leather. And like, if all theaters eventually move this way, that's a lot of leather.
I don't want.
And as people who don't, we specifically wear not real leather as a conscious choice, and we like specifically try not to have anything that has animal product in our life. Which is hard, especially because I actually work with a lot of textiles. But there are humane ways to get animal products, and using that much leather, it's a lot of leather.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a fan of that. And so you can butt in with other things. Do you have any pros that I didn't mention?
I'm so down to butt in.
Just like with those seats. What?
Well, I don't really have like a cohesive list, but I definitely do agree that it seems like it was a move and a decision made in order to save the movie theater industry as we know it. But I can definitely add to the cons list. And I know that a lot of people that I've spoken to have liked being able to reserve seating because they like the luxurious aspect of it, because movies have become so expensive that it really is like a purposeful date night or, like just a purposeful outing. And so like you want to feel comfortable and all of those things. But
I've got plenty more cons. I've
got tons of cons. My cons are that it's even more prohibitive. So like movies used to be an affordable thing to do, like especially during the summer. It was like, great, you've got like X amount of dollars, you can go. You can bring your own bottle of water, depending on how big your sweatshirt is, how big your backpack is. And like you can sit down and you can be entertained for hours. And if you're a parent, that was like a godsend because you could have your kids be entertained. You could get a movie pass that was affordable.
And get out of the sun into air conditioning.
Get out of the sun, and get into air conditioning.
And remember double features?
Yeah, double features were awesome.
That was a normal thing.
Yeah. And specific theaters now do that. It's like it's like a throwback kind of thing now. Yeah. And like, but it used to be much more accessible. And streaming totally affected that.
Right.
Totally acknowledge that. So I can see how movie theaters would have needed to get something to bring people in, but it's kind of sad that the thing that's supposed to be attractive is like spend all your money on this one thing, and if you can't afford it, it's no longer a part of your lifestyle. Like you can't go see movies now if you can't afford it, and there are a lot of people who can't afford to.
And theaters were getting more expensive anyway going to movies, so I feel like I feel like they could very easily use this as an excuse to make tickets even more expensive. Where they go, now look at, it's an experience, it's a blah, blah, blah.
Well, now it's the problem that I have with a lot of things where I do understand when it comes to the textile fashion industry that like you do need, we have a phone call.
Yeah, we have a phone call. We haven't got a phone call in a long time. Hello, thanks for calling. Let's make a list. You are on the air, so please do not swear.
I hate the reserved seatings. I can give two minor pros.
Okay, cool. I'm ready.
Okay, so one, leg room is awesome.
Yeah.
You're also 1,000 feet tall, so that makes perfect sense.
Yes, and that sticks out to me.
Yeah.
The other thing is the people talking right behind you aren't right behind you anymore.
That's true. That's another good point.
Those two things have been good. Otherwise,
but anyway, here's one thing though, real quick. People that sit right behind you now, if they reserve seats and they're talking, it's not as easy to move. You have to move to a seat.
That's
hopefully there's an open seat, and hopefully someone doesn't come later and kick you out of the seat.
Yeah.
There's a con to every pro.
Exactly.
I just needed to... Okay, bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. I agree.
Yes, those are very valid points. To jump onto the thing that I said before that sounded like it was going nowhere, but it actually is. I've had long conversations with people about like clothing that you can buy, products that you can buy that are handmade or are made traditionally, and that their prices are exorbitant because of the work that goes into it. So the workers are actually getting paid.
Right.
That's not necessarily always true, especially if there's a big brand name. Just putting that out there. But the principle behind the two things is the same, is that movie theaters are now trying to make their money by blowing up one person's experience price-wise, the same way that like name brand fashion is making a lot of money on one item that they sell instead of selling multiple things at a reasonable price that more people can afford, which is kind of hard to do responsibly. But that's kind of how it felt before with the movie industry, is that it was like an even playing field with like, people can afford this. And it did start to get up and up and up and up as movie going experiences got more fancy with speaker systems and digital and all that stuff. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but now it's just movie theaters are trying to survive on the amount of people that actually do come out to movies by getting the same amount that they would have earned when theaters were full. Yeah. And so it's like, that really sucks.
Yep. And like, you look at some things that, because I always, when things get super expensive, I'm like, there's got to be a point where people just say, they stop doing it. But then you look anymore. At like Disneyland, it's just prices keep going up, yeah. And it's always full.
Well, you and I, we used to be able to afford like Disney Corner, but we used to be able to afford an annual pass.
Right.
And we could drive the 7 to 9 hours and then like spend a weekend every couple of months during a year. And that was in our 20s.
Yeah.
When we did not have necessarily like super solid, super well-paying jobs, but we could afford that because it was only a couple $100. And now it's impossible to imagine paying that much money.
Yep. And like Disneyland is one thing, is it's a very unique experience. It's really difficult to replace that kind of thing.
It's very safe.
Yeah. With movie theaters, you can to a degree replace it at home. And so the price is going up. I'm just I really instinctually I think, oh, make it cheaper because then people will go more. But
it's not true anymore.
Yep. And I'm curious to see happens?
I have no suggestions for how the movie industry can
Oh, yeah,
otherwise make their mint.
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just tricky.
One more con. People, because they have two more cons. I've heard this from people who have been to more movies at theaters with reserved seating. There are a lot of times you go and you buy tickets and a bunch of seats are sold, and you go in the theater and nobody ever shows up those. So people I don't know if they buy a bunch of tickets and then like scalp them or whatever. I don't know what happens. So a lot of times there's just a lot of empty seats. The theater makes the money, but then people actually get worse seats.
Yeah.
And then people show up later because they know they have a reserved seat, and they're more likely to distract and
they're
from the
noisy
movie.
and rude.
Yep.
And yeah. Another big con is that I don't know, ever since I was a teenager, so like the early 2000s, it started to become a tradition in my family around the holidays to go see the big blockbuster movies because it was like just a nice, relaxing thing to do with your family.
Right.
Eat a lot of food, become a globe, and just roll your way to the movie theater. And you can't do that now.
You have to plan.
You have to plan that in advance.
Schedule it.
So spontaneity is out the window.
Yeah.
For those things. And I truly enjoy being spontaneous. And that's something that our culture is very much moving away from, because like with cell phones, that's something that some sorts of communication aren't as spontaneous anymore, because like if you couldn't find the answer to something, now you can instantly.
Yeah.
And so like we don't have to remember the way that we used to. There's just certain things where it's like, I know that things change, but it's also like, but it's kind of nice to just on the fly decide to do something and have that be an experience, instead of shelling out a ton of money months in advance so that you know you can get that prime seat for whatever Marvel movie is about to debut for Christmas.
Yep.
It's Aquaman. That's what it is.
That's DC.
Darn it.
Well, that brings me to the next little piece of news.
Yes.
Real quick. Are you done with the movie theater talk? Thanks.
Are you done?
I just read right before the show that James Gunn is fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because of some tweets that are comments he made like 6 years ago that apparently were, I don't know if, I didn't see what they were. It was right before we left. So I don't know if it was a joke or what, but apparently it's some things that Disney disagrees with. But then I read someone's reaction to that going, when they hired him for Guardians of the Galaxy, Disney knew about this. James Gunn already apologized for it. And so it was already a thing that was dealt with. And he already was like, explained himself. Like, if Disney knew about this and still hired him, then it's like, okay. And James Gunn is outspokenly, the stuff that he is accused of saying, like, I think like homophobic or racist things or something like that, he is very outspoken now against those things. So I'm guessing that he was either said something poorly or was joking or something like that. I'm not sure of the details. But then the thing I read said, oh, Disney, if they already knew this, and they still hired him anyway, and then now they're firing him, they go, now they're just giving in to like crazy right wing. It's like a right wing publication or something that talked about this, that brought this back up, because apparently James Gunn recently said something about Ben Shapiro to like against him. I'm really kind of doing a bad job explaining, but it's kind of like, oh,
while you were speaking on that,
yeah,
I just read what the tweets were. And if Disney hired him knowing about that, and he already apologized or explained himself for why he tweeted that, I really don't understand why they're firing him now.
Yeah, and people say it's because
that seems like they wouldn't have hired him in the first place.
If it actually was, yeah. And so that's what it's the giving in to the right wing media, kind of thing. And then Disney and corporations, they're so scared of people painting them as something, and they go, oh, we have to distance ourselves from now they know it. So it just doesn't actually, integrity is not a part. It doesn't.
No.
It's
Integrity
all
has
just,
nothing to do with
and
anything.
that
It's
is
all
just
about
so
image and business.
so frustrating.
It's all
and
about
horrible.
business. That's why for generations people have talked about, Hollywood being what Hollywood is, which integrity has nothing to do with it. It's all about business and selling things.
Yeah.
And right now, Disney is stepping in the way of like the Me Too movement has actual movement and momentum, and we can't risk any of our huge franchises over any of it. So put that out the door.
It just seems
stinks.
like, it's really too bad.
I just don't get it. Like I'm interested to see any of the articles where it talks about him having already admitted to it.
Well, it's things where it's going down a whole nother rabbit hole, but things like Chris Hardwick getting fired and removed from a bunch of stuff before things were really investigated and more information came out. It's a
tricky subject.
It's a tricky subject. It is.
Because
dude, this is different than that, but it's the same kind of...
But you bringing that up means that I wanted to address it, which is that's a very, very tricky subject.
Right.
Because it's like such a thin line. And I don't know if we want to talk about that right
now. No, but real quick, that was just... The reason I brought that up is because it was the company worried about what people perceive immediately and think against what the context is or what for sure is the truth.
Part of why they do that, though, this is why it's very tricky to bring that up. Part of why they do that is because for years and years and years, generations and generations and generations, companies have not done that.
Right.
They have buried it, and they haven't been transparent. They haven't dealt with it. Let's be real. Churches, big churches still do that. And so people, I'm not condoning anything, because this is so tricky, but like with people just dumping Chris Hardwick, I can like almost understand it in one part and I can almost understand it in another, where it's everybody is learning how to deal with accountability and how to deal with being responsible toward the victim. Sometimes that can be in air quotes, sometimes that cannot, because there are sometimes people who do not tell the whole truth. But I think it is a good thing to lean towards believing the person who says that something happened to them. But sometimes people do that in a way that is not entirely responsible, because they're not, and it's not really, see, this is why it's tricky. It's not our place to decide what's true and what's not true, but people are trying to figure out how to maneuver in a world of accountability, because people are so hungry for it now. And anytime they hear any alarm bells, they want to know that something's being done. And what a lot of people are doing now is just distancing themselves from anybody who seems like they've done anything wrong, because they know now that people will fight. Right. And
that's why it's I understand. I just feel like it's
hard.
Not necessarily addressing the issue, I feel like, always.
No, it's not. And that's because people are still learning.
Yeah.
Because people don't know what to do. They don't know how to talk about it. I clearly don't know how to talk about it over the airwaves.
Oh, you do. It's different when we are...
not about this. This is such like a deep, deep subject that I don't know how to talk about it. But it's, huge companies, huge industries are learning what to do, and I don't even know.
It's depressing. It's very depressing that they don't already know what to do.
Of course, it's depressing.
That's one of those things, when you're a public company. That's something that I know that they don't, but that's something that from the get go you should know.
I'm going to kind of say welcome to seeing the world from women's perspectives.
Oh no,
no, I know, but I'm saying that's how we see everything. Is that we know that if anything ever happens, it will be buried. And people will not be believed. And that's not like how dare you not, but I'm just saying that's
I know.
Not surprising.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm just saying it's depressing that that's the way it is.
It's almost not even depressing to me, because that's how it's always been. That's how people have always operated. Otherwise, the Catholic Church wouldn't be the power that it is today, because people would have torn things stone by stone because of the way that children have been abused for hundreds and hundreds of years, and other situations all across the world. But people just want what's convenient. People just want what makes them feel easy. And if something makes them feel uneasy, they don't want to look at it.
Yep.
And companies know that, and they take advantage of that, and they brush things out of the way because they know that people want to go see Goofy at Disneyland and not think about other things that might have happened. So it's such a big subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like throwing finger guns at everybody right now because everybody has experienced something similar to some degree. But I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird, Disney firing somebody for something that they've already dealt with. Hello, phone.
Oh, get another phone call. Let's see who it is.
It's a hot
Hello.
button day.
Thanks for calling KPCA LP. You're on the air, so please watch your language. How's it going today?
Hi, it's going well. I don't know if I'm going to say this clearly, but you were saying how they used to always just push it, sweep this stuff under the rug, right? Well, the thing is that before that, there was nothing to sweep under the rug because it was just fine that they were treating people that way.
Right, it was considered fine. So wait.
It wasn't. No. There were things that were not considered fine. People just didn't want to hear about it.
I'm saying even one generation before that, it was even so bad that it wasn't even if they did something bad to a woman. It's like, yep, that's what we do. So
I know what you mean.
It is coming along a little at a time, at least.
I think that it's somewhere in the middle where I think it's sweeping something under the rug is the same as some people thinking that it's not a big deal and it's okay. And I think that's kind of what it was like more, where there were maybe more people that like more men and stuff that thought that being sexist and homophobic and all this stuff was okay.
So that's what I'm saying, is that it was okay. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
I think it was considered okay by some people. I think other people I think a lot of people still wasn't, but they weren't given the chance or the opportunity to be vocal about that, maybe?
I think that people knew it hurt people, but they went like, well, that's your problem. That I'm just saying that, you just keep going back. It's just, I knew I couldn't be able to make this clear, so go back to this great list you're making.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough. Well, that's part of the reason I like bring this stuff up, because it's one of those things where I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this and certain things, and I like when I bring up topics that I don't know a lot of stuff about, and I want to know more, and I like when people have good opinions.
I was just putting another generation's take on it, and I'm seeing improvement, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Goodbye. Have a good list.
Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Excuse me. Everyone happy I brought this up?
Yeah, and I do agree with caller number 2, keeping the veil of mystery on who calls into this show, that yes, there were certain things that were very socially acceptable. Mm-hmm. But as with anything else, there are things that are socially acceptable to the people in power that are not socially acceptable ever to anyone.
That's what I was trying to say too, yeah.
And that's how we are where we are now, is that view is now also socially acceptable, that you can't be a certain way. Otherwise, slavery would still be continuing in the way that it was before. I mean, there can be arguments made, but like slavery in America, people, while it was socially acceptable, while people were comfortable with it, there were people who were not.
Right.
For whatever reason. And that's how abolitionists came to be. And that's how people came to hear other ideas. Mm-hmm. And so even when all of this sexist, abusive behavior that is a part of this patriarchy was socially acceptable, there were always people who knew that it was wrong.
Right.
And there were people who were too scared to speak up about it, whatever. But like, there were people who knew deep, deep down that this isn't right. And of course, they still kept doing it anyway because they liked the power, they liked whatever, and those are the companies that are still being run by people like that.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're changing how they do things, why they're hitting the panic button and firing people and doing this and that and the other thing is because the people who are buying their products now are the ones saying this isn't okay, and they won't buy the products if they're not being given the, I'll put air quotes around it, integrity that they're looking for. So it does come down to business.
Yeah, and it's sad that just as a world, we don't push people, encourage people to think critically about things and think of things on an individual basis. Where what we're doing is they make up their decision on hearing or seeing one thing, and then from all these different sides, you know what I mean? And
I
then,
do know what you mean.
Then it's sad how it's just we go, oh, we have to. People are going to have their initial thoughts instead of using our power and our influence to try to say this is the thing in context, blah, blah, blah. There's so much, it's just, we have to give in to people's first instinctual thoughts.
Well, when you think about it in terms of the full scope of history and the full scope of the Western civilization, I'll just focus on the Western civilization because that's the civilization I'm a part of, that I live in. But if you look at it in the huge scope, the way that you're talking about thinking based on individuals, based on critical thinking, is very, very, very brand new. It's in its infancy because people have recognized and used power over the masses for millennia since mankind was mankind. Because, there have always been people who've been predatory enough to get to the top of the food chain, essentially, and to be able to steer the cart of everybody else's development. That's how, sorry, I'm going to throw you under the bus again. That's how big church is. That's how huge religions operate, is that they don't want you to read between the lines. They don't want the individual. They want the major points that they can hit so that they can control your whole worldview and they can maintain their power because you're not looking between the lines, because you're not thinking as an individual. You are thinking as a flock member. That's why people refer to their congregations and churches as their flock, is because they are not meant to be individuals. There are different people who are trying to change those churches, trying to change those religions by looking at the individual and the value of the individual. But the institutions themselves would not be what they are if they had not been built on the masses and on the people being the great unwashed masses of uneducated people. And that's, right now, it's kind of like a renaissance of thought of people asking, people wanting more, people wanting accountability, people wanting people to be responsible, to be kind, to be all these different things, to not be xenophobic, to not be ignorant, to be questioning, and to be compassionate and to be empathetic. And there are small times in history when that happens, and then it goes again the complete opposite way, which is right now we're in that time because we've had so many people who had the ability to be educated, even if that education was not really that great. They were still educated, and they were able to meet people they would not have been able to meet otherwise. They have been able to ask why, to ask questions, to do research, to meet people and discuss things they never would have discussed otherwise. And that's being taken away from us. You can look in the news and you can see that people's opportunities are being stripped away from, depending on the bottom of the economic scale upwards, like things are just being taken away. And so I hope that this focus on the individual, this focus on moving towards accountability and empathy and humanity continues, but that would kind of come down to people utilizing the internet in a good way that is not a Skynet way. And so it is depressing that companies handle things the way that they do, but when you think about it from a far away gaze, nobody knows how to do anything because this is very, very new, of people actually fessing up to what they've done and being kind of put up on a stake and being pointed at as an example of a whole society. It's new.
I'll finish this up real quick. Thank you. First.
Oh my God, we spent so much time talking about it.
But it's important stuff. But real quick, hopefully real quick. I do agree things are improving, and this is better than how it was. If people, it's one of those things where you see and you go like, like, can't people improve things
Quicker?
yeah, quicker and just like go and actually just go to the problem and like it's tough where people it seems like things have to when people fix things it always ends up going in some instances going too far the extreme in that you know what I mean like and it's not saying that we're there but in certain things it's like it doesn't have to you can fix certain things and address things without making these statements and doing these things that are obviously false or not accurate. That's pretty much yeah.
I think that you and I can say that because we grew up with empathy.
Mm-hmm.
We developed that. As a society, a lot of people are told not to develop that.
Mm-hmm.
And so someday when people en masse have developed that, we'll be there. But people are like who have been fully developed, are way deep into their adulthood, are deep into their worldview. They're now being told that they need to develop empathy. And they don't know how.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's all those people who are creating a system of trying to meet the level of empathy that is being required of them. And they don't know what that means. So,
yep.
I don't know.
Last thing. Because I agree with you on this. And it's funny when we're speaking passionately about something, and especially when there's just two of us in the room, even though we're speaking to 1.7 billion people. I'm used to when because you're looking at me, you're very specific, and so I go, "Oh, Ariel's arguing with me,"
yeah.
But then you're saying like
the exact thing,
like something I agree with or something that I was trying to say. So it takes a minute of me going like, "Wait, that's why you're arguing with? Why are you disagreeing?" I go, "No, you're just speaking passionately about something. You're not necessarily."
We both do that.
Saying
our eyes get really, really big.
Yeah. It's like if you say this dress I'm wearing is blue, and I go, whoa, no, look. What I'm saying is that dress you're wearing, it's blue. It's like that. That's sometimes, and I know that that's a very much oversimplification of it, but sometimes I go like, oh yeah, someone can speak passionately and serious about something to me without arguing with me. They're just also speaking about something that's important to them. Okay, so cool.
This is a long list to cram.
Yeah, sorry about that, but it'll be good. Okay, so this is what we did.
I really do like the new segment of talking about things that matter to you that are happening in the world. I think that it's really nice to hear, and thank you for letting me be part of it.
Thank you. I always appreciate your views.
I'm really quick to talk like an authority about things I am not an authority on.
So this is the thing, the rules for our fantasy music festival. Switching gears. So we decided we're putting together fantasy music festival. There are 3 stages, 6 bands or artists per stage. We picked the order and what stage each band would be on. I had more to talk about with like what makes a good music festival. No time for that. No need. That was basically just if we had to use up time. All right. So I have 3 stages. Do you want to do or like I do my 3rd stage, you do your 3rd stage, I do my 2nd, you do like that kind of thing in an order. All right, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, I'm going to give you a song name and then see if you can guess who the artist is.
Okay.
So opening the 3rd stage, the song is Combustible.
Oh, nope.
Cess Crew.
Cool.
Hip-hop duo.
Nice.
Stir Some Energy. Next up, the song is Bone Marrow.
Though.
Mellodrone.
Darn.
Mellodrone from LA. They just reunited recently.
They're from LA?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. All right. Next up on the 3rd stage,
yes,
which might be a tent. Who knows? The song is Jessie the Goat.
Nice.
Do you know the artist?
Joker's Daughter?
Yep. Good job.
Hey.
So I'm trying to get some variety in there. Next song, Emerald's Shatter.
No.
All right. So that's Louise Burns.
Nice.
Getting up close to the headliner for the 3rd stage. Song Velvet for Sale.
No.
U.S. Girls.
Nice. I would not know that song title.
And next up, band kind of reuniting, headlining the 3rd stage in my fantasy concert. The song is Middle Eastern Holiday.
No.
Hard Five.
Hey.
I've seen like them live for one song, and it was really good. So
That's
so Cess Cruz, Melodrone, Joker's Daughter, Louise Burns, U.S. Girls, Hard Fight. That would just be the third stage.
That's a very eclectic mix, and I like it.
The other ones aren't quite as eclectic, but you'll see. All right.
Okay. So this is kind of hard because I realized that I did not rank my stages.
Oh, they're just 3 separate stages?
They're just 3 separate stages.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that works.
maybe
Give a
if we
different feel.
check in the future at some point, I
Okay.
might have done this because this is obviously happening. But this is like my dream lineup of 3
Right.
stages. So these are all like the dreamiest artists that I just came up
These are
with.
tough. I had to cut out a lot of artists that
Oh,
I
it
thought
was-
were going to be for sure on
It
there.
was really tough.
Yeah.
And lining them up appropriately was tough. But then all of a sudden it all fell into place.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm just going to start with my third stage.
Okay.
So we would start off the show with Drowsy. Very quiet, magical, a guy and like a piano, maybe, I can't,
Okay.
a solo artist.
All right.
Number 2 would be Houses. Number 3, Flurry.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 would be Metric.
Nice. Ooh, moving the energy level up.
Mm-hmm.
To
So
the
it would start
next
pretty like calm and magical, and then like a nice
Build up.
bridging
Nice.
artist. And then another level up would be Gautier.
Mm-hmm.
And then the headliner for that stage would be Beach House. So it would
Nice.
never get like super loud or
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
It would be kind of like a contained, but like
And
you could
Metric
have
would
like
be
a
in the
little
middle
bit
to
of
give it a
excitement.
little bit of a
Yeah,
kinda
Metric and Gautier, because
dance.
Gautier also has like some upbeat and like
Mhm.
louder kind of music, and then bring you down with Beach House.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, my second stage.
Okay.
Might be outdoors.
Might be under a
who knows?
waterfall.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Opening that stage. The song, The Man I Used to Be.
No.
Chaos.
Nice.
And then the song Tip Your Bartender.
Nope.
Glass Jaw. We're getting heavier now.
Very cool.
Moaning Lisa Smile.
No.
Wolf Alice.
Ooh.
Energy. Now this is
So
where
Chaos,
things
Glass
are really
Jaw,
going.
Wolf Alice.
Yep.
I like it.
Then the song Oh My Darling Don't Cry. Run the Jewels.
Very cool.
Energy level staying up.
And changing.
Yep.
The kind of sound.
Next one, the song is Strange Music Box.
Nope.
Tech 9.
Cool.
You're thinking this is the second stage and Tech 9's on your headlining? This must be an amazing stage.
And it is.
It is. Last song, or for the headlining band, their song Mummy Dust.
Nope.
Ghost.
Ooh.
Ghost would have to headline a stage because they had to play at night.
They would have to play at night. We saw them play in like 99-degree weather.
Yeah, at like 1 p.m.
And that was rough.
Yeah.
With all those robes.
Yeah.
Poor guys. And they give an amazing show.
So there's Chaos.
I like that stage.
Glass
The mix
Jaw,
of like
Wolf Alice.
hip hop and rock.
Yeah, it's
I like
heavier.
it. And
Glass
heavier.
Jaw's not as much. It's got energy, but then Glass Jaw, Wolf Alice, Run the Jewels, Tech 9, Ghost.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you for listing things I like. Thank you for. You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you for your welcome.
Yep.
So my second stage could be on an island, could be on the wing of a flying airplane.
Oh,
Nobody knows.
but it's called the second stage.
It's called the second stage. The second one.
Yep.
Stage B. Okay. So we would start out, artist number 1, Disa,
DISA.
D-I-S-A.
Is there some kind of mark over the eye?
No. Oh, yes. Yes, there is.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Artist number 2 would be Lord Huron. So get in like a little bit of like this. I don't even know how to describe them, but their first album was like a dreamy Western. Their second album was like a dreamy like 1950s story. I don't know what their third album is. Number 3, Phantogram.
Nice. They were finalists. They had to get cut from my concert.
Well, they're in my show,
Sorry.
so we can be neighbors.
Yeah.
Number 4, Interpol. Number 5, Florence and the Machine.
Oh, not even headlining.
Headliner, Siguros.
Nice.
So that we combine the rock, the loudness, the heavy
Yeah.
beats of Florence and the Machine, and the like loud but dreaminess of Siguros.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, I'm pretty excited about it.
Uh-huh.
It's like I'm going to go see this show. That's how excited I was about putting it together.
All right, for me, main stage time.
Mm-hmm.
These are the big dollar, big time, big boys
Big dollar, big time, big boys.
and big girls.
Big girls. No discrimination here.
Yep. All right. Opening the main stage. Just opening the main stage.
Yeah.
So this is after the second stage. people are no wait I don't know how it's gonna. I've been to some concerts where they have 3 stages and then everyone plays on the one stage and then that's done. Then the next stage, so things don't overlap at all.
Yes.
But this have to overlap because we need Ghost to play at night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The song is "Silence Is Golden."
Garbage.
Yep, so Garbage would open the main
we're-
stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heavy
And
stage.
the way I picked the order, I kind of picked by popularity. I think in the U.S.,
mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I did it. Even
Blur's
though
on
you're
the
going to
stage.
see things aren't perfect, but
I have a guess. Blur is 1,000% on the stage.
we'll find out.
Oh.
See if they made the cut.
If.
Next up, the song is "Travel Is Dangerous."
Mm-mm.
The band's Mogwai.
Ooh.
So Garbage and then Mogwai.
Nice.
Things are getting
They're getting heated up.
things are getting loud. Yep. Next band song they did, "Knife Party."
I know that song, but I cannot say who it is.
Not loud.
Not allowed.
Deftones.
Ah.
Mogwai and Deftones. I want them to tour together really bad. I think that would be really, really cool.
Mogwai is the only band that I've slept through their show
Mm-hmm.
at the Regency Ballroom,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard every song, but my eyes and my body shut down.
Yeah.
And it was pure magic.
Yeah.
Because I was not bored. I did not fall asleep out of boredom. I was just tired, and I don't even know if I was really asleep because I had some crazy dreams.
Yeah.
And I heard the whole concert, and it was amazing. Anywho, what's up next?
Next up on our stage. So that's only half.
Yeah.
We're still going.
Wow.
Next up, the song is "Square Dance."
Nope.
Eminem.
That's a sharp turn.
Deftones to Eminem. Meh. Actually, Eminem's done a lot of tours with,
The full,
with big rock
the full
bands.
picture.
Oh, yeah.
Garbage, Mogwai, Deftones, Eminem.
Uh-huh.
That's a turn.
Yes.
Well.
Next up, the song is "Rosenrot."
Nope.
Rammstein. Eminem, then to Rammstein.
This
It's
is a
dark.
trajectory I
Now it's
approve.
dark.
This
It's
is a
definitely dark. It
trajectory
got
I
dark
approve
during
of.
Eminem.
Yeah.
Now we got Rammstein, big stage show.
A lot of spectacle.
Then the headliner on the main stage. Song is "Miss America."
Who is that?
The band is Blur.
Yes, it is.
Even though Blur in the U.S. isn't as big as Eminem and Rammstein, they're headlining still. Come on.
it's your
People
festival.
after Rammstein, they're going to need to relax a little bit, and but not completely,
That's the
just
key.
a little bit.
That's the key. Is that when you're sending people out, you want them to not like push over buses, but you want them to feel elation. I like it.
So my main stage was Garbage, Mogwai, Deftones, Eminem, Rammstein, Blur.
Nice.
Look, like, imagine you're me, and then imagine you're online and they say, "Oh, new music festival announced in Petaluma, California," and this is the lineup. You look at the top; it's got Blur, Rammstein, Eminem, Deftones, Mogwai, Garbage, Ghost, Tech Nine, Run the Jewels, Wolf Alice, Glassjaw, Chaos, Hard-Fi, U.S. Girls, Louise Burns, Joker's Daughter, Melodrone, and Cess Crew.
Mm-hmm.
I would get tickets.
Yeah, you would. In a
I would buy 2
heartbeat.
tickets just in case I lose one. I'd buy 3 because I'd buy one for you.
Thank you. But you wouldn't buy me a backup. I need to keep my business in
Yeah.
order.
What are the odds of both of us are going to lose ticket? Come on. Yep.
It's a really good lineup.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'm pretty good at listing bands I like that I want to see live.
Me too.
So yeah.
And it's really hard for me to have ranked any of the stages. So again,
Mhm.
they are not ranked.
Yeah, totally fine.
It's like Alpha 1A. They're all
Yeah.
together.
I think that's what the Vans Warped Tour, they have 2 main stages basically next to each other and then they just go back and
So
forth.
3 main stages.
And I think they also, for Warped Tour, for a lot of the years, maybe all of them, it would be, I don't know if it was random or they'd rotate the main stages, the set times would rotate, so there wouldn't always be the same band playing last. So
I like
sometimes maybe the most popular band would play at 2 p.m. something
Nice.
like that. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Okay, so my last stage.
Mm-hmm.
I would start out with Glasser. That'd be great. Upbeat, a little bit electronic.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Hoop.
I just thought of something.
Yes.
We could have a 2-day festival. Each have us one of these days. There we go.
I think that those would be some pretty heavy
Yeah,
days.
there we go.
Pretty packed days.
So.
All right, so my second artist, Jessica Hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Or as you like to call her, Jessica Loop.
Yep.
My third artist, Aurora.
Oh yes, I remember.
My fourth, Amanda Palmer. Throw in some cabaret.
Would be just solo or would it be with with the band?
I would 100% leave it up to her.
Oh,
And so I would be like, have guests, do whatever. But it would be really awesome if it was Amanda Palmer and the band that she had for her album.
that'd be great if she just had a PowerPoint presentation. She just explained how Patreon worked.
Oh, I'd be into it if it was Amanda Palmer talking about it. Yeah, so with the full orchestra, with
Nice.
her partner from Dresden Dolls,
What-
with some just friends coming up on stage,
What was
telling
it?
stories with Neil Gaiman.
Her solo album, but with the band. What was the band called? Amanda Palmer and I keep thinking Innocent Criminals, but that's Ben Harper, isn't it?
I'm blanking right now,
Yeah,
but if you want to look it up,
sure, I'll do that.
the internet is at your fingertips.
All right, you have one more. Let me see if I can guess.
I
So-
have two more.
Oh, two more on this.
Hmm.
All right, I'll let you do. I'll let you say one more, then I have to guess the final one.
So Glasser, Jessica Hoop, Aurora, Amanda Palmer, Enigma.
Ooh.
Some of that big, full 90s meditational sound. Oh, I would be so happy. And then my final artist.
Real quick, Amanda Palmer and the Grand Theft Orchestra.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'd like to guess. Can I guess?
Yes.
The final. You too.
No,
Ooh,
they did not make it
they did not make it.
because all of these bands that I've listed on all the stages, they would all fit together. And
Okay.
you two would fit, but not with this stage.
So you need it's probably something a little more dreamy. IO Echo.
Nope.
Be something dreamy.
Okay, this stage combines a little bit of like electric,
Yeah.
a little bit of cabaret, and a lot of women singing loud and
Aretha Franklin?
unconventionally. No,
Bjork.
very good guess though.
That was a good guess.
That's much closer.
That was a very good guess.
Much closer.
I really like that guess.
Yeah.
Oh, would it be Enya?
No.
Mother-
Hey, what are you talking about?
Father.
What are you talking about?
She sings unconventionally.
But think about the music that we're playing here. Yes, it would make sense to have Enya play after Enigma, but Glasser, Jessica Hoop, Aurora, Amanda Palmer, Enigma, Enya? How dare you? No.
What?
It's
that's
still
a
a
good
good guess. How dare you?
Well, I can get this.
Yep. Sweden.
I've never been to Sweden. How would I know? Well, Sweden, you've got the sounds. Sweden, you've got delirium.
Nope.
No, Sweden, you've got Madonna.
Closer in the alphabet.
You've got
You're farther away now.
yeah, you've got Enigma again.
Nope.
Do a full 2 hours. I don't know.
Fever Ray.
Okay, I thought she was American.
Nope.
Yeah, it's weird. I see her around town all the time. Nice, Fever Ray. That's good.
Yeah. That would make sense. That would
Yeah.
be a binding agent for that whole stage.
Nice.
Each headliner combines all the artists before.
So who are the three
In my
headliners
head.
again?
So it'd be Fever Ray, Sigur Beach House.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You'd like it.
I would.
Hmm.
All of this nails all of the things.
How many of those bands have you seen already?
uh,
Which ones have you seen live?
1, 2.
What do you want to name them? Do you go through?
I've seen Amanda Palmer.
Okay.
I have seen Lord Huron. I've seen Sigur Rós. I've seen Metric.
Hmm.
And I've seen Beach House.
Nice. So most of the bands you have not seen.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think it's like half and half.
Nice.
Yep.
Humble brag, but nice.
Not quite half. Like a third of them I haven't seen. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time if this is real. All right, guys. If you want this to happen, start a GoFundMe for us. Raise I don't know $30 million, and yeah, we'll get going. So we still have a couple more minutes, real quick. What makes a good music festival to you? Here we go. What kind of weather? What kind of weather? Do you
Not hot.
Not hot? Do you want
So-
overcast or no?
Overcast would be fine. Sunny's nice. But honestly, it would be awesome to have the exact opposite of Coachella
All right.
in snow.
Okay, cool. Do you want it to all be outdoors or do you want there to be an indoors?
I like the combination.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want it to be grass outside, or do you want it to be cement, or do you want it to be dirt, or do you want it to be something else?
Grass,
All right, good choice.
cement, and dirt. Mm-mm.
No way, Jose.
Dirt turns to mud. Cement is just awful.
All right, cool. We got it all figured out.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for listening to what seemed like two completely different shows.
Yeah. It was fun.
That's what lists are all about. Yeah, coming up in just a few minutes, 5 minutes now, we have full circle sessions with a substitute host. I think Val, is subbing. And then after that, we've got Live Archive with Ed Pearlstein. Next week, they'll either be a pre-recorded show of this or someone will be subbing, not quite sure yet. But stick around next week. just stay by your radio for the next 7 days.
Yes, please.
Yeah, go to kpca.fm, see the schedule for the station. Lots of shows. You can email the station kpca@pca.tv. If you're interested in getting involved with the station at all, then yeah, check the website and contact us. You can also contact Ariel and myself directly.
Please do.
Yeah, at philandariel@gmail.com, or you can follow us Instagram and Twitter at Phil and Ariel. Oh, my chest. There we go. And I think that's pretty much everything we mentioned. The Petaluma Music Festival, August 4th. Remember, you can volunteer for that. Or they're looking for volunteers if you want. You get a free shirt. And yeah, just help keep community radio alive in Petaluma and within the whole world.
Yeah.
All right. Tell your friends. Family too. Strangers too. Oh, I guess we gotta go. I guess Ariel's the host of the show now. You don't want me to just kill time? All right, see you, everyone. Thank you very much, Ariel. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thanks for listening, everybody. Bye-bye.